So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. We had a ton of rain last night, and it's kind of a overcast and gloomy morning here, so I'm thinking...
I think the weather's better in West Virginia.
So we're gonna head down there. All right, so we made it to West Virginia. Now, Melissa has not seen this side of the property right here. If you saw that video the other day, I came down and put this stake in. This is where we're thinking the driveway's gonna go, just to get up in the woods there a little bit. Now, initially, we were talking about getting way back into the center of the property, right, but I don't think we're gonna have to do that, at least yet. You know what I mean? We'll go in here about 300 feet. Okay. And there's a nice spot, and we'll have just like a circle drive up there. Okay. Be able to loop around, but we'll put a gate down here. I think we can fit between these two maples, but one of them may have to go. I'm not sure yet. Culvert pipe will go in here, and oh, hey Melissa, on the floor on your side is some ribbon. Okay. Yeah, there's thousands of these little white pines growing. So yeah, you can see the truck down there, come up through here. Got this squirrely cherry to come out, this little tree here, dead one there. And then we're gonna go right in between these two big white pines, that one and that one. And then we'll make a slight turn. Yeah, look at the way this cherry right here, that broke off, but there's just enough to keep these growing right here.
Isn't that crazy? Wow.
But yeah, so come up from the truck, between the two big trees, we'll have a turn, and we'll continue up this way. Okay. I was just telling Melissa, you can't really tell with this little camera, but if you look straight out there, I mean, you can get between these rows of pines and see like 250 yards out there, but it's just a narrow little window. Wind sounds really neat through these trees. So what do you think so far, Melissa?
I'm still in awe. I love it. But after walking around here, I realized we won't have to come up as far as we kind of thought in the beginning. You know, just come up so far. Actually, this is actually a nice area right here. There's some thick brush right here.
And the property probably goes back at least another 1,000 feet that direction.
Okay. Yeah, but you wouldn't have to interrupt any of this.
Yeah. It's a nice spot right here.
Yeah.
Sun's trying to come out now.
The birds and the way the sun comes through, and when you do hear the wind picking up, it's different than it is at home.
Yeah, from all the pine trees.
Yeah, we're like protected. But turn around, you can see the sun hitting behind, poking through.
So some of this red pine, I was kind of wondering what causes this. You know, we've seen several like that. If you look over here, there's one down here, Melissa, a small one. kind of looks like they get broke off, but then they just take back off again. Kind of what it looks like. There's a small one here that didn't make it, but tried. Wow.
You will not believe it.
You won't believe this. We're just standing here
Talking about this tree,
talking about this.
and a little fawn was laying in those ferns.
Yeah, fawn was right there, and it can get it. It's not a tiny one, you know what I mean? It was jumped up. It was right here.
I feel awful. We were actually talking about Archie, bringing Archie down here, and what's he going to think about it? I just think too much conversation we had going on. It just got nervous and popped up. It was just laying right here.
Yeah, it was 10, 15 feet from us.
Oh.
So there is definitely a lot of deer here. We see them bouncing out just out ahead of us as we're walking around. That fawn that we just saw, we had to have walked past it on the way out. And actually, we checked the trail cameras
Right,
and
so
went back. So it's like 3 or 4 times we walked past it. But we're just doing some planning here today, trying to figure things out. We're ready to jump right into this and get access into the property. But even though, you know, I've got the sawmill, we're trying to figure this out as low of impact as possible, just to kind of snake a road in here. We want to leave everything the way it is as best we can. And it's a beautiful property, though. It's really nice. So we are at Swallow Falls, and boy, some of this hemlock in here, hemlock and white pine, absolutely beautiful. So I had no idea, but look at some of these cherry trees in here. Really, really nice cherry. I didn't know they had it like this down here. This kind of reminds me of, you know, up in northwest Pennsylvania, like up around Kane, where the real good cherry is. This stuff was beautiful right here, mixed in among all these hemlocks and white pine.
This was a nice one.
These steps are pretty cool, but the distance is kind of jacked up.
Yeah, your muscle memorization is not used to it. You know, timing's different.
Either take 1.5 or a long step.
These state parks just remind me of the many 48 Hours in Dateline and 2020s I watch. I'm very suspicious of other people I see here. Isn't that strange? I don't know why.
And everyone we run into is real nice, but you just never know.
I'm like, I watched a 2020. Like, why is that guy here with that younger girl? Meanwhile, it's just like, I'm sure his daughter. But I'm like, I saw a Dateline about that.
All right, so we are getting ready to leave Swallow Falls. Where'd you go?
Right here.
And I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 stars. What do you give it, Melissa?
I give it a 4 out of 5.
4?
Yeah.
Why?
We had to pay $5 a person to get in here.
Oh, so you knocked down a whole star for that?
Yeah.
All right.
Take $5 a person, you lose a star.
No, but it is a beautiful place.
It is really beautiful.
Yeah, old growth hemlock, white pine.
And the trails are nice. I like this. This is what, that pea gravel or?
Yeah, little limestone chips.
Okay, limestone chips.
Yeah, really nice
Like
place.
it. It's beautiful.
There's way more to see here than what we can do today, but we'll definitely be back, huh?
Yeah, we're close. We're almost neighbors now.
So we made it back from West Virginia and Maryland last night, and it's pretty nice running down there. We were talking yesterday. It's about a 2.5-hour ride, and you can do it all in one day. Like, we got to see a lot of things yesterday, did a bunch of different things.
Met some subscribers.
Yes, we did meet a guy that watches our channel, lives just down the road from the property. He's got a big firewood processor. I was attracted by a huge pile of firewood poles. Super nice guy, but we have been meeting a lot of people that live in the area, all very nice, very friendly. You know, if you need anything, come knock on the door anytime. This guy's son has a mini excavator, does some excavating. It's just nice to kind of get to know the people. But yeah, really, really nice guy, lives just down the road and sells a ton of firewood down there around Oakland, Maryland.
Yeah, and on the way down to the property, we stopped at the Bass Pro Shop, which we found and love.
Yeah, it's right by Morgantown.
Very convenient. And there is some subscribers there that we met. So
yeah, they were from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Out around Ligonier. We met them there. And like I said, we've been meeting a lot of the different neighbors down there. But it's a really, it's a nice area. That whole area down there is really nice. And for us, once we get a place to stay down there, it'll be much better. Like, we're wanting to take Hunter down there, but Hunter, how does that work with him?
Yeah, so
you can explain it better than I can.
I'm going to take the zoo trip, for example. If you go to my channel, Morgan's Off the Leash, I did a video of Hunter Goes to the Zoo. Hunter hadn't been to the zoo in probably 12, maybe 15 years. When he was younger, we'd take him all the time. It was actually probably something that it was in a routine of every month or, you know, every couple months. And then so many years go by that he hasn't been there. And I wasn't sure how it'd go because he always loved it when he was younger, but because it's not been in his routine, how's he going to do? He gets in a routine, he expects everything to be the same, which I think we're a creature of habit. We all like everything to pretty much fundamentally stay the same. But in this case, I was like, oh, Mike, why didn't you take him? Mike, let's go. Let's go together. And actually, Mike had something to do, so he couldn't. But the other kids met us down there, and all in all, I was super surprised. He enjoyed himself. He loved it. And so that's the same thing with going to West Virginia to the property. He's not going to understand his purpose. Like, okay, we ride down. He loves to ride. You know, we could be an 18-wheeler truck driver across country. He would love that. But we're going to get down there, and he's going to see it as, okay, this is beautiful. Now let's go.
Now?
So, yeah, what next? What's his purpose? So he really likes to know his purpose. What's his job? What's, you know, and of course that's all of us. What's the purpose? What am I doing here? And so I want to get some things in place. Like, say we get a travel trailer, camper trailer type of thing is the way I've pictured it. Get that on the property, and then he can at least have a spot to go back to, like for his lunch.
Yeah, he knows that that's the place that
where you would charge your iPad, and then we can take walks on the property or gather up some wood. If Mike wants us to, you know, any jobs that we can create for him, he'll do them. No problem. Hunter's a worker, but he has to understand the purpose. And right now, we're still figuring out our purpose.
Yeah. And like when we went to Swallow Falls, beautiful state park, in Hunter's head, it's you get to the end of the trail and you turn around and you get back to the truck and you do something else, or you know, we did that. He just wants to scratch it off the list or something. So
exactly right.
We're gonna figure that all out, how things will work.
And
best.
at the zoo, he wanted to, it was kind of a race in his mind.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we saw this animal, doomed, and he wanted to be ahead of the crowd, which is understandable. He doesn't like crowds, but the zoo was that night we went was just for all the individuals in the community that have autism.
Big area too.
An autism diagnosis or a spectrum. It's a spectrum diagnosis, and it worked out great. We ran into people that we haven't seen in years that used to work with Hunter, a couple teachers, a couple aides, and actually a couple students. So it was a lot of fun.
You tell me that. The other thing, you know, once we get a place to stay, it'll just be. It's nice to be able to run down just for the day and come back.
Right.
But like we left relatively early yesterday, got back late last night, and it's definitely doable. We were talking last night. I don't know how I used to do it, but I used to like work in that area further than that, and some nights I'd stay maybe a night or two a week, but I would drive that every day, you know, like another half hour further than what we did.
Crazy?
Yeah, leave at 4:30 in the morning and get home at 8 o'clock and do it again the next day. I definitely couldn't hang like I used to, but I did that for years. I tried to be home as much as I could, and sometimes it wasn't just possible. I even worked like up in New Hampshire. Obviously I didn't drive that every day, but I would leave like Sunday afternoon, get up there about midnight, 1 a.m., go to bed and work all week, and then Friday after work I would go to the hotel. I kept the hotel the entire time, get a shower, cleaned up, jump in the truck, drive straight home, get home like 4 o'clock Saturday morning, and then, you know, cut the grass, do whatever, do some things with the family, and then Sunday morning get ready to do it all over again. But it was crazy. I don't know how I did it, but the driving doesn't bother me much, but it's not as easy as it used to be. But that trip down there, 2.5 hours, and once you get below Pittsburgh into Washington and down there, it's all nice scenery, and you can take different routes to get down to the property. Right. But the plan down there is, as soon as we get through the 4th of July, that's coming up in a few weeks, we'll be spending a lot more time down there. Get the driveway put in. We submitted for the driveway permit. It's no big deal. We'll get in off the road, probably about 300 feet, make a nice camp spot, and we'll probably put another like mini cabin up down there right away, or a hunting shack, do a tent, travel trailer. We're still working, figuring that out on a place for us to stay there on the property, but it's a nice home base for that area. There is so much to do around there for the things that we're into, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like we just saw part of Swallow Falls State Park. There's the cathedral down the road. There's all kind of stuff in that area, and you have to hit it pretty hard down there in the summer, spring, summer, and fall, because winter is apparently pretty intense down there. They get quite a bit of snow, and but that's okay. It'd be nice to stay down there in a little cabin and get snowed in.
Beautiful now. Let's see what happens in 6 months. But you know, we were coming home yesterday, and Mike drove down and drove back, and I was saying to him on the way home, I go, you know what, next time I think it's going to be better if we just spend the night and enjoy the next day doing a couple other things and then drive home, instead of just driving down and driving back in one day. Because you know what, I said, just sit in this truck, like my back hurts and my lower back's bothering me. I need to stretch more. You know, I just give him an earful and he's driving. He's like, yeah, because I'm sure all this driving is really getting to you. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry.
But so far, we love the area, love the property. The plan will be, this will be coming up in just a couple of weeks, get that road cut in, and then I'm going to haul some of those white pines. I only have to take a few of them out for the road, bring them up here, and we'll saw them on the mill and use them to build stuff back down there. As I mentioned before, we do have a new sawmill coming, supposed to be end of summer, the LT50 big fast sawmill. So some people are saying, you know, I should take the old mill down there and leave it set up there. That's a pretty good idea, and I actually considered doing that. But I think once I get that fully hydraulic mill, I probably won't use the LX50 much. I mean, it's a great mill, but for sawing that pine, like for dimensional boards and siding, things like that, that 50 will just crank that stuff out like you won't believe. So I think the plan is still just to have the one sawmill in the end, and it's got a trailer package. I could take it down and do it that way. But as far as wildlife down there, we got, I had trail cameras up for 4 days since I was down there last, and probably got 30 or 40 pictures. I think all doe, maybe a little fawn. You saw earlier in this video while we talked about it, we had a fawn laying 10 feet from us, and we didn't even know. It jumped up and bolted. It can definitely move really well. It got out of there in a hurry, but it's amazing how tight those things lay there. You know what I mean? They just hang tight. But so far, everything down there is, we're thrilled. Happy with the purchase.
Very much so. Looking
forward to getting to work down there, spending more time down there.
Taking the kids down and even the dogs. So
we'll see how it all goes. But it's going to work out really, really well and, for us and our family. And it'd be nice to have a place down there eventually where everybody, all the family can come down and, you know, do Thanksgiving or whatever. You know, we'll do something down there. But I think that's about it. A little bit different video. Oh, and by the way, the thumbnail picture of the truck and the log trailer, we thought that would just be kind of funny because everybody's always making fun of the grocery getter, me pulling trailers with it and stuff. So we're driving down this road and I saw that log trailer there. I'm like, I got an idea here. And what we should have done is act like we were pulling it or something. But yeah, lots of forestry related stuff in West Virginia though.
Yeah.
Lots of logging. We saw that one big sawmill, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's like a whole factory.
huge place. But anyway, that's about it for today's video. I appreciate y'all being here, and
Comment down below.
yeah,
Love
we'll
to hear
catch you
from
on the next one.